Well, I'm John Wheeler with the Rotary Club of Lake City. Been asked to talk about the beginnings of the Pinkie Project. Anytime I talk about the beginnings, I have to look at a picture because this picture is what inspired it all. Back in 2001, I was looking at the Rotarian magazine. I believe it was a November issue. And I came across this picture of 7 or 8 Ethiopian boys showing off a purple pinky. And I just wondered, well, what in the world were they doing? And what in the world is on their fingers? What is that beautiful purple stuff with a green hue? So I picked up the phone, I called Rotary International, and I asked those questions. I said, what is that stuff? What are they doing there? And they said, oh, we don't know. We'll have to get back with you. So a week later, the call came back, and the answer was that, oh, those boys were just vaccinated with the wild polio vaccine. And that's how we mark them vaccinated, because there's no record keeping in North Africa. So my next question was, what is it? And so they had to say, well, we'll get back with you. So another week, and we found out what it was. That purple stuff was gentian violet. And so I learned that gentian violet is a topical antiseptic, but it's brilliantly purple, and it stays brilliantly purple for days and days and days. And that's Rotary's a way of record keeping in those areas when they have polio days, immunization days over there. So I just thought, sometimes pictures inspire, and I just thought, could we do something in the United States? Would kids here like a purple pinky? Could we ask them to participate in polio eradication, and we exchange $1 for a purple pinky? The first question I had to ask that was to our board of directors, and they looked at me and said, you want to do what to our kids? And I explained what I wanted to do, and they said, well, if you can go to the superintendent, Mr. Flanagan, and get his permission, you can do it. Come back to us. And so I went to Mr. Flanagan and told him what I wanted to do, and he asked the same question, you want to do what to our kids? Then he said, if you can get it past Dr. Ozaki. Now, Dr. Ozaki is our pediatrician around here for many, many, many years. Everybody loved Dr. Ozaki, a first graduate of the University of Florida College of Medicine. Just about everybody had Dr. Ozaki, but he was with the health department at the time. So I went to see Dr. Ozaki, and he looked at me and he said, you want to do what with the kids? I said, well, doctor, is it safe to put gentian violet on fingers and use it as a marker? He said, sure it is. He said, we used to use that in the old days with babies that came in and had yeast infections in their mouths from nursing. He said, we would take that stuff and wipe it all around in their mouth, and it would, it was antiseptic, so it would cure the yeast infection. He said, sure, you can put it on fingers. So I took that information back, and Mr. Flanagan, and he said, okay, one more step, you got to get it past the principals. So I had to appear before all the principals, and they asked the same question, you want to do what with our kids? Finally, they let us, and the club got engaged, and about 30 Rotarians went to all the schools on the appointed day. We sent flyers and permission slips home, and kids came back with dollars and received a purple pinky in exchange for the $1. It's an educational process, as a project, as well as a fundraising project. That first year, I think we raised about $2,700. And we sent it off to Polio Plus. We did it again the second year, and we were up to about $4,500. To me, purple pinky illustrates one of the miracles of Rotary, that multiplier effect, that great multiplier effect we get with Rotary. The first multiplier was additional Rotarians coming on board. I went to get the help from our downtown Rotary Club. Carl Allison was there with me doing a makeup, and I told them that I needed their help. He says, well, I want to help too. And so ever since the beginning, Bay Pharmacy has been a partner with us, contributing funds, donating the gentian violet, helping with promotion. The second multiplier is when Rotary catches something, other clubs duplicate it. Clubs around different states. The first club that duplicated it was in Canada. A Canadian called me out of the blue and said, "John, how do we do this?" And so from there, I got several calls throughout the years, and we put it on the internet, and we have no idea how many clubs have adopted it. And then, of course, every dollar means more than one life, doesn't it? Every dollar means 2 or 3 because of the multiplier effect of the Gates Foundation. So we're still doing it, we're still having fun with it, and we're saving lives.